that chaos.
We shift from Michael's accidental incompetence to the intentional cutthroat underbelly of office politics.
Yeah, and we are introduced to a character named Angela.
Angela is a fascinating counterweight to Michael, isn't she?
She is the polar opposite.
While Michael is up front making a fool of himself just to be liked, Angela is operating in the shadows.
She secretly wants to seize control of the branch.
She openly badmouths her coworkers behind their backs, and she practically wears her lack of empathy as a badge of honor.
It's ruthless.
It's like we go from a clown show directly into an episode of Game of Thrones, just played out over cubicles and water coolers.
That's a great comparison.
But I want to challenge this a bit. Isn't survival in a corporate environment inherently a bit of a zero-sum game anyway?
Sure, to some extent.
So why blame the boss's incompetence for Angela's ruthless behavior?
That's a very fair question. Competition is natural in business, yes. But there is a massive difference between healthy market competition and toxic internal sabotage.
Okay, what's the difference in this context?
Well, in a functional workplace, a competent leader acts as a referee. They reward genuine merit, teamwork, and actual productivity.
Right, they set the rules of the game.
But when you have a leadership vacuum, when the referee is Michael, who only rewards people who feed his ego, the environment devolves into a true zero-sum game.
Oh, I see. So Angela represents the hyper-competitive mentality that thrives in poorly managed spaces.
Exactly. When there is no competent authority to protect the team, the environment strictly rewards ruthlessness and manipulation.
So because the system is broken, the predators are let off the leash.
Precisely. Michael's chaos is accidental, born of ignorance and insecurity. Angela's chaos is intentional.
Born of ambition.
Yes, and a predatory understanding of the system's weakness. Both are equally destructive to that cheap suit of professionalism.
And it doesn't just breed ruthlessness, it breeds absolute weirdness.
Oh, so weird.
Because amidst all this Machiavellian plotting, there's this bizarre, incredibly uncomfortable interaction between Angela and Dwight.
This part is so revealing.
During this meeting, Dwight casually reveals that he knows highly intimate, specific details about Angela's personal shopping habits.
It's an incredible detail that highlights the complete collapse of professional boundaries.
It is so creepy. Why is he keeping tabs on where she buys her clothes?
Because they aren't just colleagues anymore.
Right. The analysis points out that this specific flavor of awkwardness is the hallmark of the modern workplace. These aren't just colleagues who clock out at 5 p.m. and forget each other.
No, they are uncomfortably, inextricably entangled in each other's lives.
Simply because they are trapped in this fluorescent box for 40 hours a week.
You're touching on the forced intimacy of the modern office, particularly the open plan office.
Which everyone loves to hate.
Right, because think about it. You are surrounded by people you did not choose. You are forced to collaborate with them, share a microwave with them, and listen to their phone calls.
You learn things about them you never wanted to know.
Inevitably, the boundaries blur. Dwight, knowing Angela's shopping habits isn't just a quirky character trait. It's a manifestation of how the professional boundary has completely disintegrated due to forced proximity.
The cheap suit isn't just ripping at this point, it's lying in tatters on the floor.
It's completely gone.
And with the boss living in a delusion and the employees playing ruthless, boundary-crossing political games, this fragile ecosystem is primed for a total collapse.
Which brings us to the climax of the source materials analysis.
The descent into pure, unadulterated chaos.
The breaking point where the entire facade drops.
It absolutely shatters. The text reveals a subplot with another employee, Ham, who has been secretly using a fake phone call trick to manipulate situations.
Right, slipping out of uncomfortable conversations.
This is a huge aha moment for me because it proves that it's not just the loud, aggressive personalities causing the dysfunction.
Exactly.
Literally everyone in the office, even the seemingly normal ones, is running their own deceptive little scams to survive the day.
It shows that the deception is systemic. It's an entire ecosystem built on micromanipulations.
Right, and the ultimate detonation happens when an external force is introduced. A corporate supervisor from a higher level, a woman named Jan, calls the office.
The outside world finally looks in.
Yes, and during this incredibly tense speakerphone call, it is revealed that Dwight, the same guy tracking Angela's shopping habits, has bypassed Michael entirely and officially filed a formal complaint.
Oh, man.
Once that bombshell drops, the room descends into a frenzy.
The chickens finally come home to roost, all the unaddressed tension, the afflicted emotional issues, the secret
It
maneuvering.
all just explodes.
It all detonates at once because the formal corporate structure has suddenly collided with the lawless reality of the branch.
It's like dropping a live grenade into a bouncy castle.
That is the perfect way to describe it.
And here is the most fascinating part of the text's analysis. The author actually rates this scene.
Yeah, I found this really interesting.
They give it a very respectable 9 out of 10 for comedy, but they give it a perfect 10 out of 10 for awkward humor.
That perfect 10.
The takeaway is that the brilliance doesn't come from loud, scripted jokes or punchlines. It comes from the completely natural, frantic attempts at self-preservation when the professional mask falls off. So help me understand this rating. If the awkwardness beats out the comedy, does that mean the secret ingredient to the greatest workplace observations is actually tragedy?
That is an incredibly astute observation, and I think the answer is unequivocally yes.
Really? Tragedy.
Yes, the tragedy is the foundation of the entire structure. Think about the reality of what we're looking at. The tragedy is that these human beings are trapped.
They can't just leave.
Right. The tragedy is that Michael is so desperately lonely and insecure that he will warp reality to feel loved.
Wow. Yeah.
The tragedy is that Angela feels she must be completely ruthless just to survive her Tuesday. The comedy is simply the sparks that fly when those tragic, very real human flaws collide in a confined space.
Wow. So we're laughing at their pain, but mostly because it's our pain too.
Exactly. The reason the awkward humor earns that perfect 10 out of 10 is because awkwardness is the visceral feeling of reality bleeding through the professional mask.
It's that moment of recognition.
Right. When Dwight files that formal complaint, he is attempting to weaponize the corporate structure against the chaos.
But the structure itself is broken.
Because it's managed by someone as dysfunctional as Michael, so the weapon just blows up in everyone's face.
Wow.
Those frantic attempts at self-preservation you mentioned, that's the human animal reacting to a primal threat.
So it's not even about work anymore.
No, when the pressure hits, it strips away job titles, degrees, and HR policies. It leaves you with nothing but raw, unfiltered ego defense.
It's literally survival of the fittest in a room with a fax machine and a water cooler.
Exactly.
You know, you are completely right. The jokes wouldn't land if they weren't grounded in that very real, very tragic human insecurity.
It's funny because it's true.
And it's deeply awkward because we recognize ourselves in it. We recognize that exact feeling of sitting in a mandatory meeting, watching a manager lie to themselves to save face, and realizing that we are all just collectively pretending this is a normal way to live.
We are all complicit in maintaining the illusion of the machine.
We really are.
The analysis masterfully highlights that the comedy serves as a release valve for the immense psychological pressure of that constant pretending.
We have to laugh so we don't scream.
Right. We laugh, or rather, we cringe laugh, because for a brief, shining moment, we finally see the unspoken truth of our daily lives acknowledged out loud.
So to bring this all together for you listening, what is the core lesson we can extract from this deep dive?
It's a big one.
This brilliant breakdown proves a fundamental, unavoidable truth about our daily lives. A workplace is never just about the files, the productivity metrics, or the weekly agendas.
Those are just props.
Exactly. Those things are just the props on the stage. The actual beating heart of an office is a bubbling, volatile cauldron of human ego, jealousy, deep-seated insecurity, and profoundly weird behavior.
All desperately masquerading as professionalism.
We spend 8 to 10 hours a day pretending we are rational, emotionless robots,
Sure.
when in reality we are just a suggestion box full of terrible ideas and unchecked emotions waiting for the lid to pop off.
It truly forces you to reevaluate every single interaction you have during your workday.
It really does.
I mean, the next time a colleague sends a highly passive-aggressive email, or your manager invents a physically impossible excuse for a missed deadline, you aren't just seeing a quirk.
You are seeing the exact same sociological dynamics we discussed today playing out in real time.
It's all the exact same psychological source code.
Which leaves us with a final, provocative thought for you to ponder long after you finish listening today.
Can't hear it.
If our modern workplaces are essentially just adult playgrounds for unresolved childhood insecurities, forced proximity, and fragile egos,
Which they are.
is the entire concept of professionalism just a collective delusion? Is it simply a shared hallucination that we all silently agree to maintain, simply so society doesn't grind to an absolute halt?
That's a scary thought.
Think about that cheap suit analogy one last time. We all know it's a terrible suit. We all know the fabric is paper thin and it's going to rip the second someone bends over.
But we wear it anyway.
But we all agree to compliment each other on how nice we look in it anyway. Because the alternative is admitting we're all naked.
Wow.
Next time you are sitting in a sterile, perfectly air-conditioned corporate meeting, take a moment to stop looking at the PowerPoint and really look around the room at your colleagues.
Look closely.
Because if you look just past the laptops and the branded coffee mugs, you might just spot the chaos bubbling right beneath the surface.